Which major Georgia targets will be in Athens this weekend for an official visit? That's what we're going to talk about in today's video. Of course, it's going to be a wild weekend in Athens. The summer is here, and that means every weekend moving forward, Kirby and the Dogs will have some of the best prospects in the country on campus for an official visit. And today, I'm breaking down which top prospects will be in town this weekend to kick off the massive summer. There's a lot of players to talk about, but I'm not going to talk about everyone because I want to get y'all over to dawgpost.com. The story is already up on the website with all of the official visitors, full breakdown on each one. So make sure you're heading over to the website to get all the information over there. But I do want to share a few names because there's a lot of big time prospects. So let's jump right into it. Now, one out-of-state guy that I've talked about in another video, but definitely got to keep an eye on is Xavier Crowell. He is an elite running back from Alabama. I still think it might be tough to get him away from the Crimson Tide, but Georgia's going to give it their best shot here. 5'11", 210 pounds, rusher just under 2,000 yards last year as a sophomore, 31 touchdowns. He reclassified to the 26 class, and he's still the number 2 running back prospect in the country. Big visit. If Georgia wants to land him, this is going to have to go extremely well because he is a strong Alabama lean. Another guy to keep an eye on, one of the best prospects, I think, on offense in the country, a borderline 5-star, tight end Kaden Prothrow. This is another guy that I've talked about a long time now. He is a 3-time state champion, 6'6", 220, one of the best tight end prospects in the country. Had a massive junior year last year, caught 56 passes, 1,203 yards and 22 touchdowns in just 15 games. He is a dog. He plays the ball extremely well. He's tough to bring down, plays the position like a wide receiver, but this is not a slam dunk at all. I think Georgia's in a really good position for him right now. He's been a long-time target of Todd Hartley's, but he's going to go to Alabama June 6th, Auburn June 10th, Florida June 13th, and Texas June 20th. So Georgia still has a fight on their hands, but in my opinion, this is one of the best players in Georgia, across the South, and really across the country. Kaden Prothrow, 4-star tight end, high 4-star tight end, will be in town for a major official visit. Definitely a guy to keep an eye on, as is Kamari Brooks. He is a 4-star edge defender, nearby kid, North Oconee High School. He is big time. He's one of the best pass rushers, not only in Georgia, but across the South. This is going to come down to Georgia and Alabama. 6'3", 220, made 131 tackles last fall, 17 tackles for a loss, 13 sacks, 1 interception, 2 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, 24 quarterback hurries. This guy gets after it. He's a first guy off the bus type, at least at the high school level. He's built well. He's physically gifted. But again, not the biggest guy, 6'3", 220, but plenty of size, but he's explosive off the snap and lived in the backfield last year. This would be a great pickup for the Dogs. And he's a local kid, so I think Georgia's in a really good spot. We'll see if they can take a strong lead in his recruitment with a big official visit this weekend. Alabama's not going away, though. They're going to make things interesting, but I still like Georgia's chances in the end. One of the hottest prospects, not only in Georgia, but across the South right now, is Craig Dandridge. He is a shifty, twitchy, sure-handed wide receiver out of Cambridge High School who has quickly grown up Georgia's recruiting board at wide receiver. Big hands. He is coming off a phenomenal season last year. 58 catches, 1,443 yards, 14 touchdowns. He's got size to go with it. 6'1", 180. Really good speed. He's elusive. This guy just gets it. He is a natural receiver. His recruitment blew up earlier this winter, and he had a really good spring. I think Georgia's pushing for him more and more, and he moved up his official visit. I believe it was supposed to be June 20th. He moved it up to this weekend. I expect Georgia to kind of put the pressure on him, roll out the red carpet. This is a guy they want, a guy who can absolutely make plays if he were to go to Georgia. We'll see if things, continue to trend Georgia's way, but I like Georgia's chances with him. One of the best wide receivers, not only in Georgia, but across the South, possibly across the country. His ranking is only going to keep rising. Definitely a guy that Georgia fans need to keep a close eye on. Jordan Smith is a 4-star safety out of Houston County. He's already on the commit list. One of the best safeties in the country. Number 6 safety prospect, number 75 overall. Big deal. 6'2", 195. Can help against the run, can make plays in the secondary. He's just a really good player. Georgia pushed for his commitment early in the process. They got it this spring. Made 85 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, and 2 interceptions in coverage with 7 more pass breakups. He's long, he's athletic, he's versatile. He can help you in a lot of different ways. I think he is a guy that wants to be at Georgia, loves the Dogs, and is already on the commit list. He's going to be in town to help recruit others. But this will be the weekend he takes his official visit. So definitely a guy to keep an eye on. If you're a Georgia fan, you are really going to like this young man. Another out-of-state guy to know, Justice Fitzpatrick. He's a relative of Micah Fitzpatrick, who Kirby Smart coached at Alabama, one of the top cornerback prospects in the country, one of the best overall prospects in South Florida. He's the number 7 cornerback prospect and the number 62 overall prospect in the country. 6 foot, 185 pounds. He's a natural in coverage, quick feet, fluid hips. Again, one of the best defensive back prospects you will find in the 2026 class. Georgia's in the mix. You've got Miami, you've got Florida State, you've got Florida, among others. But Georgia's got a chance to get some momentum in his recruitment with a big official visit this weekend. Another one to keep an eye on, Peyton Dyer, 4-star cornerback out of Duluth. Big deal. His ranking's not really going to excite a lot of Georgia fans. He's the number 28 cornerback, the number 294 overall prospect. Georgia likes him more than his ranking. I can tell you that right now. He was a former South Carolina commitment. Georgia pushed for him even when he was committed to the Gamecocks, opened things up, and it feels like Georgia's making him more and more of a priority. They will get him in Athens this weekend for a big official visit. And another guy that I can definitely see in Georgia's class, he's physically gifted, 6'1", 190, muscular frame, but he knows how to cover. He can really move as well. Now, there's a few other guys I'm going to mention briefly, but one guy that I don't want to overlook because I've got a lot of notes here. And again, you can read all of this over on Dawg Post because I'm going to miss a few guys, and I'm still adding to this list. I'm not just putting guys in this list that other people are reporting. I'm not writing about these young men until I hear from them myself personally. Hey, Matt, I'm going to be in Athens for an official visit. But one guy who did tell me he's going to be in town is James Johnson out of Northwestern High School, powerhouse in Florida. He is a big, big deal. He's the number 2 defensive line prospect in the country. I asked him, I said, is this an official visit or is it unofficial? He didn't get back to me. Maybe he will as soon as I end this video. But he did say that he will be in town for a big visit this weekend. So he's going to be in Athens regardless. He is one of the top defensive line prospects in the country. 6'3", 205, explosive, mean, physical, aggressive. He's the number 6 prospect in Florida and the number 47 overall prospect in the country. Now, the 26 class doesn't have a ton of elite defensive linemen across the country, but he's one of them. He's a top 50 prospect, number 2 defensive lineman. These are the guys that you need to add, right? Georgia needs to bring back those dogs, those game changers on the defensive line, and this guy is definitely that type. They are in the mix. They've been in the mix for a while. Miami's obviously in the mix, and if it comes down to NIL, of course, Miami could be tough to beat, but Florida's in the mix. I think Alabama, Clemson, a few others are also in the mix, but this is the guy that Georgia wants. I'm not saying Georgia needs him because Georgia doesn't need anybody. They're the Dogs, right? And nobody is a must-have anymore. I don't care if it's quarterback, defensive line, doesn't matter. Georgia's going to be pushing for championships year in and year out, whether they miss on a top target or not. But this guy's someone who can absolutely help them. He's lean, he's athletic, and explosive. Lived in the backfield last year. If you want to read more about him, make sure you head over to dawgpost.com. Still not sure if this is an official visit, but he will be in town, and that is a big deal. I also have a few other in-state guys. Zyke Helton is a 3-star offensive lineman from Carrollton who will be in town. He's a former Alabama commitment. Brandon Anderson is a massive interior offensive lineman out of North Cobb that I've written about before. He's 6'5", 335, a former Tennessee commitment. I think Tennessee's still probably the team trending, but if Georgia pushes hard for him and he continues to create a bond and a relationship with Stacey Searles and the staff, maybe things change. Tito Crittenden Jr. is an interior defensive lineman, just a 3-star guy, but someone with a Georgia offer in the Atlanta area out of Lithonia. He's a guy to keep an eye on. I think if Georgia pushes for a commitment there, they could be tough to beat. Desmond Green is a kid from South Carolina to keep an eye on. He's just a 3-star guy. The ranking's not going to excite a lot of Georgia fans, but he's 6'5", 350. just a big, heavy interior lineman that Georgia's been recruiting for a while now. He's going to be in town for an official visit. Carter Lucky, Lawson Lucky's brother. He's a defensive lineman out of Norcross High School. He's going to be in town. He's coming off a really strong junior season. And if the Dogs push for him, gotta like their chances there as well. A lot of other 2027 guys are going to be in town for a big visit. Of course, those are unofficial visits, but it is going to be a loaded group in Athens, and you can read more about this over on dawgpost.com. That's where all the five-star Georgia fans are. That's where the smartest Georgia fans are. They're over on DawgPost, so you can read more about these players and a lot more over on the website. Make sure you're checking that out. Thanks for watching. Hope you learned something, and I'll see you over on dawgpost.com.